Well, born in Missouri, Caruthersville, 35. Sometime a couple of years later, apparently due to shutdown of the shoe factory, we lived in Kentucky for a short period of time and went back to the Caruthersville to work in the shoe factory. Well, I went to first 2 years of school, and then we moved back to Kentucky when Dad got a job at the KOW ordnance plant outside of Keville, and we lived in the Grimes house, which was I guess a 4-room house, and Mama would put us in the stairway going upstairs whenever a storm came along, all the thunder and lightning, and it was scaring us. And she realized that what it was doing to our psyche, Tom and I, and her own, no doubt. So she realized, and in the future, she said, no, we're not going to go to the stairway for this storm. We're just going to ignore it and it'll go away. So we learned to handle storms even though they raised Cain outside. And Dad worked, I forget whether it was 9 months or 18 months, a relatively short time at the AEC plant. Let's get back up on this. He moved to Kentucky to the KOW because he was 30. I'd have to figure it out now. But he was at the draft. The draft was after him, and he was, I think, classified as B. Anyway, whatever the class was that had a family. It was not A, because A, you didn't have family to worry about, or something like that. Anyway, and then they got in need of drafting more soldiers, and they came for Dad again, and so he took over the management of Mom and Helen and Granddaddy's farm, which gave him a C rating again, and put off the draft date, which he eventually avoided. He did not have to go into the service. Uncle Tom was gone, and Uncle Tom wrote him and told him, Jim, Ed, this is hell. If there's any way you can stay out of it.
So Uncle Tom was in Korea.
Uncle Tom was in the Second World War in fighting the Japanese.
Oh, he was in Korea and then.
Were in those islands over there.
Oh, okay.
Not in Korea.
Not in Korea.
This was in 41, 42. This was during the beginning of the war, or
with Germany.
Okay.
So that's when Granddaddy Bernie had to go, though.
I thought Granddaddy Bernie joined.
Well, I don't know. He was drafted.
I didn't think so. I don't know.
I'll get Mom to tell me more.
I don't know. I know that he considered that he should go. Bernie did.
Okay.
And he worked in the engine room of some ship.
Yeah.
And
I guess I thought he was drafted, even though he was a farmer and he had a family. He still was drafted, but I'll find out whether he was drafted or volunteered. I'll find out.
He told it from a point of view of it was his duty, and he didn't try to get out of it.
Right, right. And He talked about draft dodging SOBs his whole life.
Which firmly put him where he didn't like being there, and it was hell.
He did not like it. He did not like being away. Yeah. Okay, so Granddaddy didn't have to go to the war because of the farm and the family, and so Uncle Tom did go, though, because he was drafted.
Uncle Tom came in when, I don't know what the occasion was, but he was out, he came back in, and Hitler had, or the Germans had sunk some ship or something, and they declared war with the United States, or something like that, and he packed his bags and he was gone. He intended to join the Air Force, but he had been in a car wreck that knocked his 2 front teeth out, and they would not take him in the Air Force because of those teeth.
Really?
Right. Even though he had a bridge in it, and you couldn't tell it by looking at him, but they wouldn't give him.
That's weird.
So he joined the Army, and he worked on airplanes. He was an armorer, but you know, he put the bullets in the guns and sight them in and everything on the planes.
So were any of his children born when he left?
No.
Okay, so he didn't.
Brandy was born in '49, and he
Okay.
got back from the war in '46.
Okay. Was he married when he left? Already married to Burnett?
No, he was not married to Burnett. He was married to Simmons, Louise Simmons.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, I had. Okay. All right,
Divorce
so
has been a strong point in our family a long time.
How about that? Well, anyway, okay, so Burnett and Tom had.
Randy and Brad.
Okay.
Now she had Ann.
And Ann was redheaded, right?
You heard us talking about Steele. Tom and I talking
Yes.
about Steele. Well,
Ann Steele is Burnett's daughter.
Burnett's daughter
Went to the church. Went to Pleasant Hill.
What was his name?
I don't think I ever knew that.
John T. Steele was his younger brother, and he was, oh golly, I'll think of it another time.
But Ann Steele that I know from Pleasant Hill was Burnett's daughter.
No.
Oh, okay.
Ann Steele from Pleasant Hill was Burnett's husband's second wife.
Oh. Burnett's husband's second wife. See, okay, all right.
Annette Steele was raised by Uncle Tom and Burnett's child.
Okay.
With Steele.
So, see, okay.
Woodrow Steele.
But that's
Woodrow Steele
is the one you and Uncle Tommy went to see.
Woodrow Steele's headstone is in the cemetery at Pleasant Hill.
Okay, but there's another Woodrow you and Uncle Tommy went to see.
Woodrow family. It's a cousin of Daddy's.
Okay.
Woodrow
Timmons.
Okay. All these names that all are the same. They just come through generations, and you think you've got it, and then it's, oh nope, that's another one. This genealogy's fun. It's a puzzle.
Well, for so many years, you know, people named their kids
The
after
same name, Martha.
And you could practically go to the records and find somebody with the right name, and it'd be the right person.
Oh goodness, I've got so many. There's so many Marthas in the Lindermans.
Now they're mixing sexes, names, and
oh my goodness, it's